She stood still, rigid when she spotted my spouse. No tremble, no flicker. She froze. Shopping cart halfway down the aisle, her hands gripping the metal as if it tethered her to this world. I smiled. Long time no see, I remarked, maintaining composure. She glanced between us, then me and the woman beside me. Her gaze returned to my spouse. After that, she fled, abandoning the cart, everything. Minutes later, my phone vibrated with a message. Divorce her immediately. The rest of the text I chose not to read. I knew what it said. It had been 10 years since Ava disappeared from my life. 10 years since the woman who shared my business, dreams, and home tore it all apart in one quiet afternoon. I arrived home earlier than expected. That was all it took. An incorrect day, a canceled client meeting at the last minute. As I entered, I heard laughter. Not hers. His. It was more than anger. It was betrayal disguised as routine. Their voices melded together, as if they had been conversing for quite some time. Familiar. Routinized. She didn't plead, almost making a difference. She stated, we were destined not to endure. Similar to seasons. As if we were temporary rain clouds that passed. 3 weeks later, she departed with him, taking nearly the entire company, most of the savings, and every shred of trust one had regarding loyalty. They wed within a year, commencing their glossy new life with my funds. I vanished. No tantrums. No destructive aftermath. Only quietude. Yet, I do not absolve her. I rebuild. I restarted from scratch, armed with nothing but time and purpose. I observed her. Stealthily. Every business venture she engaged in. Every lawsuit he concealed. Every person they exploited and abandoned, broken. She believed she was a nobleman. In reality, she married a parasite donning superior attire. While she posed for photos with the press, he pilfered behind her back. When the flaws surfaced, I smirked too. 5 years later, I was an apparition in a new metropolis, adopting another identity. Richer, more astute, married to the type of woman Ava once feigned to be. Elegant, genius, menacing in all the right ways. Claire wasn't chosen randomly. She held a grudge. Ava's husband had financially ruined her family through a merger 5 years prior. Claire hadn't forgotten. Together, we transformed into forces unforeseen by them. Predators. I acquired a stake in Ava's new venture through a hidden company. Observed from the shadows. Dropped a hint here and there. Exposed a detail elsewhere. Enough to provoke curiosity among investors. Not enough to be traced back. Claire executed her plan flawlessly. Social media, philanthropic events, subtle magazine articles. Just enough to catch Ava's attention. Like an elusive itch that can't be ignored. Until today. Until the supermarket aisle where everything fell apart. She recognized Claire by my side. The facade cracked. Her message persisted. You have no idea who she truly is. She's dangerous. She'll bring you down. Please contact me. I don't intend to harm you. She's deceiving you, just as she deceived everyone else. The irony was nearly amusing. So I responded. Without a doubt, you're well versed on the topic. Silence from your end. However, there was more to come. 2 weeks later, Ava faced legal action. Claire had uncovered sufficient financial misdeeds by Ava's spouse, prompting a federal investigation into insider trading, tax fraud, and racketeering. All accounts were frozen, including Ava's, even though she wasn't implicated in the scheme. Her name was on every deal, making her liable. She stood to lose half of her company, estate, and reputation. The media soon picked up on the story. Claire's anonymous tip reached every financial journal in the city, causing Ava's name to plummet from trending hashtags to legal briefings. Sponsors withdrew their support, and board members turned against her. I desired one final thing: closure. So, I arranged a lunch meeting at the same cafe where we had signed the papers for our old company, completing a full circle. Ava appeared worn, diminished. It seemed as if someone had hollowed out her pride, leaving only skin and calculation. You did this, she murmured softly. I took a sip of my espresso. You did more than ask, you destroyed me. I corrected, but that was your deed. All I did was make sure you observed. Claire will bring ruin to you, just as she did to me. I tilted my head inquisitively. No, she merely completed what you initiated. Realization dawned upon her like cold fog. You orchestrated this. Everything. I rose from my seat. You abandoned me for a swindler, Ava. You plundered my company. You danced on the embers. It took a decade to construct an empire out of your treachery. Do you think this was retaliation? I stepped nearer. This was compassion. I exited before she could utter another word. Clara waited in the vehicle, engine humming. Her gaze stayed fixed ahead, undisturbed by the tumult. Did she plead? Claire inquired. No, I responded. She eventually fell silent. We departed, leaving behind the cafe in our wake. I refused to glance back. Regret is a privilege, and I ceased indulging in it 10 years ago. If you enjoy this story, please like, subscribe, and share.